Hi YouTube, welcome to our 72-hour whirlwind adventure through the Windy City, Chicago, a city of skyscrapers, deep dish and basketball royalty. So we didn't actually fly. Nope, we rolled into Chicago the old school way, on the Amtrak train. We started in San Francisco, and after roughly 50 hours and basically no sleep, we arrived. Fun fact about the Amtrak California Zephyr route, it nearly covers 2,500 miles and is considered one of the most scenic trains in the US. So if you want to check out that vlog, go ahead and watch it. It's a pretty good one. Chicago greeted us with wind, pizza smells, and skyscrapers. YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we've just arrived in Chicago. I'm gonna give you the quick room tour. We got upgraded, and I always say this, speak to the guys at the reception desk because they are usually some of the most nicest people, and they'll give you free room upgrades if you're just nice back. Down here, this is the River Hotel in Chicago. It is really beautiful, really central. That's why we picked it. And I'm going to give you a room tour. So this was our upgraded room. We already kind of scattered our stuff. Just ignore that. And we got upgraded to get a view of the river, which, I mean, look at this. You're joking. That is such a beautiful view of the river. But yeah, it's a great hotel. Love it. The bathroom, Alex is in there at the moment, but it's just a bathroom. Quite a lot planned while we're in Chicago, but we are starving. First off, we have just taken the train from San Francisco all the way here to Chicago, and we didn't really eat on the train. The eating options aren't really huge, so we're ready to go have a meal. Alright, I'm gonna be real with you. Our first night in Chicago basically consisted of us showering off that 50-hour train journey and getting a good night's sleep. But we were up bright and early the next day with one thing at the top of our list. We obviously visited the Beam, aka Cloud Gate, because apparently that's its real name. No trip to Chicago is complete without reflecting on your life in a giant stainless steel lagoon-shaped mirror. Sculpted by Anish Kapoor, installed in 2006, it weighs 110 tons, which coincidentally is how much pizza we ate while we were in Chicago. We also wandered through downtown, saw street art, avoided deep potholes, and people watched like professionals. So, if you're walking down Chicago's Michigan Avenue, especially the stretch known as the Magnificent Mile, congrats! You've basically made it to the Champs-Élysées of the Midwest. It's Chicago's main high street, about 13 blocks long, packed with shops, restaurants, historic buildings, and people who walk like they're on a fashion show. Fun fact, the Magnificent Mile got its name in the 1940s and is part of the larger Michigan Avenue, a road that runs over 100 miles, all the way across Illinois. So yeah, it looks like a shopping street, technically part of a highway that you could take halfway across the state. Okay, so we went up a tower. Not the Sears Tower, sorry, Willis Tower, but the other one, 875 North Michigan Avenue. Formerly the John Hancock Center, 1,128 feet tall. And yes, there's a bar up there with a skyline view that slaps. Also, you can do this thing in this tower where you like lean on the glass and they bring you forward so you're like dropping down onto the city. Now, I don't know if that interests you, but it did not interest us. It's pretty entertaining watching other people do it though. Favorite food, Panera Bread. Unfortunately, you have to just like take it to go. So we're gonna eat it in this like little random side bit. Let's get our Panera Bread. Such a tasty meal. If you're ever in the US and you want like a nice lunch, Panera Bread is always for the win. Alex loves Panera Bread. It's like his favorite. If you watched our vlogs when we did our road trip in the US, Panera Bread was your number one, was it not? Yeah. And he got sad because he almost thought we weren't going to be able to have it here, but luckily there was one. Just had to stand and eat. Okay, so night 2 in the city, and we had a plan. We went full Chicago sports mode and caught the Chicago Bulls live at the United Center. iconic. Home to the Bulls and Blackhawks, also the place with the giant Michael Jordan statue that radiates pure greatness. And guess what? The Bulls won. Not saying we're good luck, but so far that's 3 out of 3 games that we've been to. But what do I have to say? Now let's talk Bulls. Chicago's team, the Legends in red, and home to the greatest basketball dynasty of the 90s. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. The Bulls won 6 NBA championships between 1991 and 1998. That's not a flex, that's basically the Avengers of basketball. Fun fact, the Chicago Bulls are the only NBA team to win 2 separate three-peats. 1991 to 1993 and 1996 to 1998. And also their mascot, Benny the Bull, has been around since 1969. And yes, he's more athletic than I will ever be. So it was technically day 3 of our time in Chicago, and the top thing on our list for today was the architecture boat tour. Low-key, one of the coolest things we did here. You're just floating around downtown while learning about Chicago, and you're basically doing the Taylor Swift of architecture. The Chicago River is the only river in the world that's been reversed on purpose. Back in the early 1900s, they literally engineered it to flow away from Lake Michigan to stop sewage from contaminating the drinking water. Because nothing ruins a lake day like a floating health crisis. Chicago is considered the birthplace of skyscrapers. After the Great Fire in 1871 destroyed most of the city, architects started to build it up instead of out, thanks to the steel frame construction. The rest of the world followed their lead. Basically, Chicago walked so Dubai could fly. You'll see everything from Art Deco to Gothic Revival to ultra-modern glass towers. Chicago is an architecture version of a Spotify playlist. Some old school hits, some funky experimental stuff, and a few certified bangers. So yeah, I would 10 out of 10 recommend the Chicago River Cruise if you're in town. Okay, we're getting straight into the fun facts here. Chicago's nickname, the Windy City, has nothing to do with the weather. Shocking, I know. It actually comes from the 19th century. Not because it's windy, which, okay, it kind of is, but because of its long-winded, boastful politicians and over-the-top civic parades during the events of the 1893 World's Fair. So yeah, turns out the original hot air in Chicago was political. Okay, I know what you're all thinking. Deep dish pizza. If regular pizza is a snack, then deep dish is a full-blown commitment. The thing is like a pie had a love child with a lasagna and it raised it on a cast iron skillet. Deep dish pizza was invented in 1943 at the Pizzerina Uno in Chicago by 2 individuals who I will not butcher the names of. Here's the wild part. The cheese goes on the bottom, then the toppings, then the sauce. Upside down pizza sorcery, but it works. So here's a vigil. It's dough, mozzarella, sausage / any toppings that you want on it, chunky tomato sauce, and then baked like a casserole sent from heaven. 1 slice, you're full. 2 slices, you're questioning your life choices. 3 slices, I don't even know how you're doing that. Okay, we're dropping another fun fact. The name Chicago actually comes from a native word, Shikwaka. Please don't come at me for how I said that, which means wild onion or smelly garlic. Yeah, not quite the glamorous image, right? Early French explorers picked up the name because of the area near the Chicago River, which was full of wild leeks and onions that gave off this pretty funky smell. So basically, the city was named after a salad ingredient and attitude. If you're a coffee person, or just someone who enjoys pretending to be productive while holding a latte, you have to check out the Starbucks Reserve Roastery in Chicago. Chicago's Starbucks Reserve Roastery is the largest in the world. 5 floors, 35,000 square feet, and a full-on coffee playground. They roast beans on site. If anyone's been following our journey, you know that we collect the Starbucks travel mugs, so we obviously had to get the Chicago one. If you're interested in checking out all the ones we have so far, we have over 150. Go and check out the video linked above. An absolute rush this morning. We've just packed up and we're leaving now. Had one last look at the view because it is stunning. We have a flight to catch. Look at me. What is this? What is this outfit? What luggage? 3 days in Chicago and we barely scratched the surface. This city is full of art, stories and stunning views in every direction. If you're into history, food, sports or standing in 30-mile-an-hour wind thinking about your life choices, this is your city. Anyway, thanks for coming along the ride. Like, comment and subscribe and let us know which city you want us to train hop to next.